US Citizenship Test, N400 Part 12. Questions 1 through 8. Sentences and vocabulary explained. Practice listen and answer. When preparing for the naturalization interview, some applicants may be worried about Part 12 of the N400. But don't worry, we will learn it together today. There are 50 questions in Part 12. The first 44 questions are to find out whether the applicant has ever had any illegal behavior or terrorist behavior in the past. The last 6 questions are to understand whether the applicant can implement the rights and obligations of citizens after naturalization. I will describe these 50 questions in several videos. Today is the first one, and I will cover questions 1 through 8. In each of the following questions, I will describe the key content and key words of each question. I will also list some different questioning methods to help you practice your listening skills. The more you listen, the better you can understand the officer during the interview. Okay, let's start. Number 1 through 3. Number 1. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way? Number 2. Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Number 3. Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? These 3 questions are to check if you lied to be a citizen when you were not a citizen. Only citizens can vote and register to vote. So, our answers are no for these 3 questions. Number 1. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen? Did you ever claim to be a U.S. citizen? No, never. Do you know what claim means? What does claim mean? Could you tell me what claim means? Can you explain to me what claim means? What does the word claim mean? Do you understand what claim is? Can you define claim for me? Explain to me your understanding of claim. Claim means to say something is true. Claim means lie that you are a citizen when it wasn't true. Claim means pretend to have a right when not true. Number 2. Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Have you ever registered to vote in the United States? No, never. Do you know what register means? What does register mean? Could you tell me what register means? Register means to sign up. Number 3. Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Did you vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? No. Can you explain to me what vote means? What is vote? Do you understand what vote is? Vote means to choose a candidate, or vote means to elect. Number 4. Do you have, or did you ever have, a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country? Have you ever had any hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country? This question is to find out if you have a special status abroad. I think 99% of applicants will answer no to this question. Do you know what hereditary title means? Can you define hereditary title for me? Explain to me your understanding of hereditary title. Could you tell me what an order of nobility means? What is an order of nobility? Hereditary title is the titles you receive when you are born, if any. An order of nobility is a position given by a king or queen. Number 5. Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined to a mental institution? Have you ever been confined in a mental institution? Were you ever declared legally incompetent? This question is to find out if you have ever suffered from mental problems. If you have never had mental problems, please answer no. Please explain to me what legally incompetent means. Do you understand what legally incompetent is? What is a mental institution? Can you define mental institution for me? If someone has mental problems and a court says that he can't make his own decisions, that means he is legally incompetent. A mental institution is a hospital for people who have mental problems. Number 6, 7, and 8. These 3 questions all relate to taxation. Number 6. Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes? Number 7. Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? Number 8. Have you ever called yourself a non-U.S. resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes? This question asks whether you pay taxes on time and whether you owe taxes. No. Do you understand what owe is? What does it mean to owe taxes? Could you tell me what overdue means? Owe means not giving what should be given. Owe taxes is not giving money to government. Overdue means past the deadline, or overdue means to be late. Note: officers may ask the questions in different ways. Example: do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes? Do you have any unpaid overdue federal, state, or local taxes? If you don't owe any taxes, you answer no. If the officer says this in other ways, they say, do you pay your taxes every year on time? Do you have a payment plan with the IRS? To these questions, you must answer yes. Number 7. Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? If you pay taxes on time, you must answer no. This question is similar to number 6, where the officer asks whether or not you filed tax returns after you got your green card. Do you understand what file tax returns means? Could you tell me what it means to file tax returns? It means sending tax paperwork to the government. Note: officer may ask questions in different ways. Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? If you file tax returns and pay money to the government, please answer no. If the officer says another way, they say, have you never delayed to file taxes since you got a green card? Have you always filed your taxes since you got your green card? Here, you must answer yes. Number 8. Have you called yourself a non-U.S. resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? This question is related to taxation too. If someone called himself a non-U.S. resident, his goal was to avoid paying taxes. So, we answer no for this question. The officer may ask like this: do you always file as a U.S. resident on your tax return since getting your green card? Answer is yes. Make sure you understand the officer's question. If you don't hear clearly, ask him to repeat. Do not randomly answer yes or no. What does non-U.S. resident mean? Explain to me your understanding of the phrase non-U.S. resident. Non-U.S. resident is a person who does not live in the U.S. Thank you and good luck.